Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let's continue. Today we are going to learn about the indirect forbidding or a third person forbidding, that how someone should not do something. So we know that it is not possible. We learned that it is not possible to directly forbid someone who is not present. Like we learned that there are 6 sigas that la nahya can be applied. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Like these 6 sigas can be only applied when we are going to forbid someone. So there is sometimes that it is possible to say that someone should not do something, like someone is not present with you and you are telling someone that one should not do that and one should not do this. So someone should not do this or someone should not do something. This is, we call it indirect forbidding or a third person forbidding. So how it is going to be done? Let's see. We are going to apply this indirect forbidding or the third person forbidding on these 6 sigas, the huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. So, and always remember that we are going to see for an outside doer for huwa and hiya, you know that because it has not an inbuilt pronoun, it has the damir mustatir, taqdiru huwa, so it can have, and here, so it can have, they both can have an outside doer. For huma, we know that alif is telling us, alif is 9 is telling us that this is dual, while jama'a is a pronoun here, nun niswa, here it is telling us that this is the feminine version, so here, and this vowel jama'a with alif al farqa is telling us that this is our this home version. So for who and here, we are going to look for an outside doer. We know that, and otherwise these are here the mir baris. We know that here the mir mustatir for huwa and here. So we can have an ism zahir for huwa and here versions. So we know that all these can be done as we for indirect forbidding and for third person forbidding. It will go like this: huwa la yansur, huma la yansura, hum la yansuru, hiya la tansur, huma la tansura, hunna la yansurna. So here he should not help. This is you know that this is indirect forbidding. He should not help. Like we learn is anta la tansur, you should not help. Here, huwa la yansur, he should not have. Like you do not have here, you know that it will be indirect forbidding. Anta la tansur, you don't help. Huwa la yansur, he should not help. Huma la yansura, they both should not help. Hum la yansuru, they all should not help. Hiya la tansur, she should not help. Huma la tansura, they both should not help. Hunna la yansurna, they all should not help. For anta la tansur, you don't help. Then antuma la tansura, you do not help. You both do not help. Like this. And you know that for indirect, we will say someone should not do that thing. And it will be translated as he should not help, she should not help, they both should not help, and they all should not help. So let's see the examples for these, where this indirect forbidding is mentioned in the Quran. The first example is La yattakhizil mu'minina al-kafirina. Mu'minuna al-kafirina. La yattakhizil mu'minuna. Here you can see this la. Let not believe you see two types of translations in different musaf. Let not believers take, the believers should not take. It is translated into both, can be translated into both. La yattakhizil mu'minuna. You know that here this is la nahya, la yattakhiz. La yattakhiz. So what happened here? This is the kasra here, and we have already learned about the iltika sakinin, the meeting of the two sukoons, the sukoon of this lam and this. We know that this meeting of the sukoon, so the first one will get a kasra. So Yattakhiz will turn into yattakhizil. La yattakhizil mu'minuna. Here, the sukun will change into kasra. The believers should not take. Now, this is indirect forbidding. Let not believers take the disbelievers as friends. Awliya min dunil mu'minin. So here you see an example of la nahiya, but in an indirect forbidding way. For the third person forbidding. The transition will be should not. The believers should not take. La yattakhidul mu'minuna. Mu'minunal kafirina. Then the next example is Waman kafara fala yahzunka kufruhu. And here remember we know that for hua versions we will look for because hua this inbuilt pronoun this damir musil taqdiru hua will be cancelled out because of the outside doer the ism zahir and that is al mu'minuna. This is rafa in the state and we know that the first rafa will be our file and you know that this is in the rafa we can have a outside here for the Hua version. So here, Mominuna is our file, fail and file, fail and file, fail, file, and this is our maful, the kafirina, because this is in the nasib state. So here you see that the la nahya is used for the indirect forbidding. Again, the next example, waman kafara fala yahzunka kufruhu. So here you see that and whoever has disbelief, let not his disbelief grieve you. And whoever has disbelief, his belief should not sadden you. So here again, two translations can be applied. La yahzunka, here you can see the lana here. Yahzun, yahzun. Here you can see this sukoon. And we know that the lana here turn a dhamma into sukoon. Yahzunu will change into yahzun. And again, for Hua version, we have to look for an outside doer. So this this first this file, the first marfu state is telling us that this is our file, and this will be this disbelief. Kufru, kufru who his disbelief. Kufru is our file here because we can have an outside doer for Hua version. So this is our file here. فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ كُفْرُهُ. His disbelief should not sadden you. Alright, so here you can see la nahiya applied as an indirect forbidding particle for the third person, and you can see many examples of la nahiya with the indirect forbidding in your musaf. Inshallah, if you are going to look for a la nahiya indirect forbidding. Alhamdulillah. So there is another recap of all the few concepts about the Faili Mudare that we have did in the past. So here this we are reviewing for Afal Sahiya and Afal Motila, and we know that this is very important because as we are proceeding in a fail study of fail mudare, fail madi, it is very important to learn about the harf illa and harf sahiha. So what are the afal sahiha and what are the afal illa in motilla, in which there are the harf illa in the endings, and afal sahiha, what are they when they end with the sahih letters. So let's see all the letters that are other than weak letters, the haruf illa that we know that alif, waw, and ya, these are harf illa, the weak letters. When they end or start or they have it in the middle, we have these afal mu'talla. For afal sahiya, we have those with the ending verbs, and mostly when they are going to end with the afal, this huruf illa, then we have a different rules for them. But when we see them in the middle and the start, the rules are different. Here you can see huruf illa in the weak verbs, wada, kala, Kala and Rama. So here we have started in our sub studies as well for Afal Mu'talla or the weak verbs. Afal Sahiha, they are based on the three consonants. We know that they don't contain any weak letter. Like Daraba, Fataha, Nasara, Daraba to hit, Fataha to open, and Nasara to help. You do not see any weak letter, Alif, Waw, or Ya. Here, wa'ada, qala, and rama, you can see weak letters in each word. Waw, alif, and ya. So these are afal sahi and afal mu'talla. All right, so this is just a recap for this sahi and the illa letters. And again, we know that fi'l mudari can have different states while fi'l madi is always mabni. Remember these two main important points because we are starting with the i'rab for fi'l mudari and fi'l madi in detail. So it is very important to learn that when we are going to write the i'rab, we know that fi'l madi will remain always mabni, while fi'l mudari can have states and it can have three forms or three states like marfu, mansoob, and majzoom. Fa'il mudari, this marfu form, we have already learned about it and we have already memorized, alhamdulillah, yafalu, yafalani, yafaluna, tafalu, tafalani, yafalna, tafalu, tafalani, tafaluna, tafalina, tafalani, tafalna, afalu, nafalu. Alhamdulillah. And here again, this is marfu chart. This is mansoob. Again, you know that this we will see dhamma changing into fathas for huwa, hiya, ana, and nahnu. For huwa, hiya, anta, ana, and nahnu. For the afar al khamsa, dropping of the noon. Here you do not see any noon. See? Short drop. For hunna and antunna version, they will remain same. The women will not, they are not going to change. Hunna yafalna, antunna tafalna. For mansoob. Same for the majzoom. The same chart will follow for the majzoom. Only the difference is in the majzoom that the huwa, hiya, anta, and ana, and nafalu will get, nahnu will get a jazm instead of the fatha. Like here you can see a fatha. But the dropping of the noon for afal al khamsa will remain the same for all these afal al khamsa. Huma, huma yafala, huma tafala, antuma tafala, antuma tafala, hum yafalu, and antum tafalu, and anti tafali. Dropping of the noon. Hasfin noon is the sign of the jazm and the nasab state. Alhamdulillah. So here, failure mudari can have three states: marfu, mansoob, majzoom. Normal, light, and lightest. Alhamdulillah. Lightest can have the it is because it takes effects when haruf jazma lil mudari effects fail mudari marfu. Mansoob can be done when there is a harf nasba before it, so a verb will change into mansoob form, and marfu is the default state that will have a dhamma, that will have a noon for faral khamsa. Alhamdulillah. So fail mudari can have three important states: normal, that is marfu; the light, that is mansoob; and lightest, that is majzoom. Alhamdulillah. So this is it. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.